A very pleasant welcome to all my dear 4th standard children. Today we are going to see your next chapter, that is from your science. The next chapter is about adaptation in animals, right. So, already we saw how in the previous lesson we learned how animals reproduce, right. So, in this lesson we are going to see about how the animals adapt themselves to survive in their environment, right. So, the word habitat. So, habitat refers to a place where the animal lives naturally. So, what is habitat means? Some animals, we can see different type of animals that live in different type of places, right. So, we cannot see all the animals in the same place. Some animals live in desert, some animals live in forest, some animals live inside the water. So, many animals adapt themselves, change themselves to survive in that particular habitat, right. So, habitat is a home or a place where the animal lives naturally is called habitat, right. So, you can see a ocean habitat, forest habitat, grassland habitat, desert habitat. So, some animals live in these places, right. So, we can say lion lives in the forest. So, forest is the habitat of a lion. The same way we can see camel in desert. The desert is a habitat for camel. So, the place becomes the habitat. The place is a home, right. So, now let us write what is habitat. So, first we will write what is habitat. So, because in your 2 mark you will get the question what is habitat, you have to write the definition, right. So, habitat is a place or home where an animal lives naturally. Is called its habitat. So, what is the definition of the habitat? So, a place or home where an animal lives naturally is called its habitat. So, we can say what is habitat? It can be an ocean, lake, or it can be a grassland, forest, desert, right. So, some animals live in those habitat, right. So, now let us see what are the types of animals. So, we can classify animals into 2 different categories, right. So, based on the backbone. So, some animals have backbone, that is vertebral column. So, you take your hand and touch and see at the back of your back. So, you can see a hard structure that is present in the center of the back, right. So, that is known as vertebral column. So, we have vertebral column, right. The same way some animals have vertebral column and some animals they do not have vertebral column. So, the animals that do not have vertebral column, they are called as invertebrates. Okay. So, invertebrates they does not have the vertebral column. So, vertebral column is not present in some animals. So, those animals are called as invertebrates. So, mostly all the insects. So, all the insects they does not worms they does not have the vertebral column. So, they come under invertebrates, right. And some animals they have vertebral column, right. So, the animals that have vertebral column they are called as vertebrates. Okay. So, they have the vertebral column. So, they are called as vertebrates like fish, birds, mammals, amphibians, reptiles. So, these come under vertebrates, right. Okay. Now, let us see what are the invertebrates. So, you can see invertebrates like insects, mostly all the insects they come under the invertebrates like worms, spider, butterfly, grasshopper, cockroach, snail. So, these are all the animals that they do not have the backbone, but they come under animals. Under the animals they come under the invertebrates category, right. Yes. Now, let us see about the vertebrates. What are vertebrates? So, vertebrates are the animals they come under the that is fishes, birds, reptiles, amphibians and mammals. So, these animals they come under vertebrates. Okay. So, now let us see the next one. Even birds, there are some birds that cannot able to fly, right. So, they are called as flightless birds. So, like emu, ostrich, penguin, kiwi. So, these animals they cannot able to fly, but they come under vertebrates because they come under the birds category, aves category. They have backbone, right. So, but they cannot able to fly. Okay. So, they are called as flightless birds. And some animals, for example, mammals. So, mammals they live inside the water. For example, whale and dolphin, they do not come under fish category, even though they are present in the water. Okay. So, they live inside the water, they are not coming under the fish category, they are actually mammals, they give birth to young ones and they do not lay eggs. So, they are called as aquatic mammals. Why they are called as aquatic mammals? Because they live inside the water and they do not come under fish category. So, they are mammals. So, they are, that is why whale and dolphin are called as aquatic mammals, right. So, next we will see adaptations. What is adaptation? So, some animals they change their body temperature, they change their body according to the environment, so according to the surroundings. So, they survive in that particular place by adapting themselves, right. So, that is known as adaptation. So, adaptation to environment, it can be classified into 5 categories, right. First thing, terrestrial. Terrestrial means the animals that live on the land. So, those animals that live on the land are called as terrestrial animals. Then aquatic animals, aqua refers to water. Okay. So, the animals that live inside the water are called aquatic animals. Amphibians, amphibians means, amphi means refers to both, bio means it refers to life. So, these animals can able to survive inside the water also, on the land also. So, they can able to live on the terrestrial also, they are aquatic also. So, that is why they are called as amphibians. They live inside the water and they live on the water, on the land also. The next one, arboreal. Arboreal are the animals that they spend most of the time on trees. So, that is why they are called as arboreal. Next, aerial. So, aerial means air, it refers to air. So, these animals spend their time, most of the time on in the air only, so in the sky. So, that is why these animals are called as aerial animals. So, on the land, inside the water, and both, some animals live inside water also, on the land also. Some animals spend time on the trees and some animals spend time in the air, right. Okay. So, these are the adaptation to the environment, right. So, now let us see the terrestrial animals. What are the terrestrial animals? So, we can see many landforms on the earth. So, it can be polar region, desert, or it can be forest, or it can be mountains, right. So, these animals body is well suited to adapt themselves in that surroundings, right. So, we can see camel. So, camel, it has a very thick skin. So, they can able to survive in a very hot desert also. So, they have a very thick skin and you can see the eyelids, they have a very thick eyelids to protect their eyes from the dust, from the sand. And also you can see the nostrils, they have a nostrils that is well protected, where the sand should not enter into their body, okay. And they have a very strong and broad paddle feet. So, this feet will help the camel to walk even in the desert also, and it can able to survive without water. So, the camel can able to survive without water for many days, but at a time when it gets when the water is available, it can able to drink at least 200 liters of water. So, how many liters of water a camel can able to drink? So, it drinks nearly 200 liters. So, at a stretch it will drink and it will store the water inside its body, and that is why they can able to survive in the deserts. Even it is very hot also, they can able to survive in a desert, right. So, next we are going to see about yak. So, the yak is an animal where you can see it is present in the mountains mostly, and mostly the mountains will have very cold and snowy climate. So, where the skin of these yak, so it is a yak, Y-A-K, so yak, so the skin of the animal, the hair of the animal is very thick, so where it can able to withstand in a very cold temperature also, right. And the same way we can see polar bear and penguin, so their body skin, the body covering can able to survive in a very cold extreme climate also. So, that is why they have a very thick and very hairs, so that protects themselves from the cold. Okay. So, this is polar bear and penguin. So, these animals body covering can able to survive in that particular place, right. So, this is known as adaptation, right. Okay. So, these animals we can see in the on the land. So, next we are going to see about hibernation. What is hibernation? Hibernation means some animals to escape from the winter, they undergo the winter sleep for a several months, they undergo the winter sleep. So, that is known as hibernation. So, hibernation means the animals cannot able to survive in a winter period. So, they store the food inside their body, and mostly the stored food will be in the form of fat. So, from the fat, from the stored fat, the animals use the energy to survive in that particular months. Okay. So, this hibernation means it refers to winter sleep, winter sleep. So, mostly we can see frogs, bears, they undergo the hibernation. Hibernation refers to winter sleep. Okay. The next one is aestivation. What is aestivation? Aestivation refers to summer sleep. So, like salamander, some lizards and snails, they undergo aestivation. What is aestivation? So, these animals, they cannot able to withstand in that very hot temperature. So, very hot climate. So, that is why they undergo the summer sleep. Okay. So, this is known as summer sleep. Summer sleep. So, for several months till the summer is over, the animals will sleep for a long months. So, this is known as aestivation. So, once the summer is completed, then only they will wake up from the sleep. Okay. So, bear undergo hibernation, snail, salamander undergo aestivation. So, now you can see the difference between the hibernation and aestivation. So, some lizards, some salamanders, they undergo aestivation, and bear. So, you can see a bear undergoing aestivation. So, inside a cave or inside any places to escape from the winter, till the winter goes, they go inside and they sleep. They sleep for many months, right. So, that is known as hibernation. So, now we learnt about the difference between aestivation and hibernation. Hibernation refers to winter sleep, aestivation refers to summer sleep. Okay. Right. So, now let us see about aquatic animals. So, till now we discussed about the terrestrial animal. The next one is aquatic animals. So, aquatic animals like fish, octopus, crab, prawn. So, they move inside the water, they swim inside the water with the help of their fins. Some have fins, some have paddle like limbs, okay, and they breathe under the water with the help of gills, right. So, some animals, they have a skeleton that is protect their body, and you can see fish, octopus that live inside the water. So, that is why these animals are called as aquatic animals. So, next one, amphibians. Amphibians, as I already told you, live both on the land as well as in the water. So, what are the animals? Snake, crocodile, lizard, turtle, tortoise, okay, frog. So, these are the animals, they live inside the water as well as on the land also. So, salamander, toads, they also come under amphibians, okay, right. So, even the amphibians can able to live inside the water, they breathe through the moist skin inside the water, and on the land they breathe through the lungs. Okay. The next one is arboreals. Arboreal, I said most of the animals, they spend their time on the trees, right. So, orangutan, monkey, so they live on the trees. Polar bear, koala bear. Okay, so you can see a koala bear. So these animals, they spend most of the time on the trees, right, and they also breathe through the lungs, and mostly they sit on the trees and they spend their time on the trees. That is why they are called as arboreal animals. The next one is aerial animals. So aerial animals, as I said, all the birds come under aerial animal, even the bat also come under aerial animal, but bat does not come under birds category, they come under mammal category. Okay, the only mammal that can fly is bat. So bat is a mammal that can fly. So bat is also a aerial animal. Okay, aerial animal. So now children, in this session you have learnt about the animals and its habitat, right, and also you learned the types of animals, vertebrates and invertebrates, and also we learned the adaptation of the animals also, right. So we can classify the animals on the basis of their adaptation: terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibian animals, arboreal animals and aerial animals, right. So this is what you have learnt, and we also saw the examples of those animals, right. So in the next part we will discuss the remaining part of the lesson. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.